Great. Healthcare careers shouldn't be a mystery, and they shouldn't be reserved for people who already have connections or know the right people. My name is Tanvi, and this is Healthcare Unveiled, where we have honest conversations with healthcare professionals about their real journeys, the good and the challenging parts, so you can figure out if and how this path might work for you. Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Can you just introduce yourself, your name, and your career, and what you do?
My name is Jahnavi. I'm currently working as a primary care physician at San Joaquin General Hospital here in French Camp, California.
How long have you been working there?
It's been a year.
Oh, okay.
I just graduated from residency in internal medicine this year in July.
Mhm.
And then, I continued to work there.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So, to talk about your journey into medicine, what initially drew you to medicine, and was there a specific moment or experience that made you think that this is what I want to do?
Hmm. What drew me into medicine? It's a long story, right? After 12th grade, basically in India, my studies were in India.
Hmm.
So it's either you have only two paths, basically BPC versus MPC. BPC, as in parents decide you be either a doctor or an engineer.
Hmm.
So at that time, I wanted to do BPC and want to be a doctor because I suck at math.
Hmm.
That was the reason.
Hmm.
That was the real reason. However, again, to get into BPC, we need to be either a top student or we need to pay cash. We,
Hmm.
we were neither of that.
Yeah.
Okay, I got carried away and parents made the decision. My dad told me to take MPC, and then, yeah, I did that. After that, I came here. I did master's in computers in Ferris State University, Michigan.
Hmm.
So it's a long path that I took. After that, I immediately got a job. I was getting carried away. I was getting a good paycheck, right?
Hmm.
I was getting a good paycheck, and then I was like happy with what I was doing until when you're in software, you have a lot of time at hand. So
Hmm.
you have all the weekends. I was watching like binge watching basically Grey's Anatomy and this and that.
Hmm. Yeah.
I was fantasized. So after that, I was like kind of fantasized about what I was doing and what I was watching, and then I was thinking, okay, back in the day, I wanted to be a doctor, and then I got carried away with this. What about now, right?
Hmm.
So I started asking people. Basically, like half of my family is like doctors, aunts, cousins. So started asking around. Some people said basically it's a stupid idea, and
Hmm.
because I'll be like 40-year-old by the time I finish. I already had a career. I did all this. I was in a good job. Why do you want to do that? I'll be like 40, and then if you want to do some business or whatever, if you don't want to do software, right? But
Yeah.
but my husband was like, oh, you'll be 40 anyway. Even if you get MD degree or not, you'll be 40. But if you do it, at least you'll have an MD degree after your name. So
Hmm.
I mean, he kind of encouraged me, right? Like he said, either way, we'll turn 40 without it or with it. So
Hmm.
he encouraged me. So then that's why I was like, oh, never. It will never happen if I don't make a decision now. So that's when I decided to get into medicine.
Oh, it's a very nice story.
It's basically wanting to do it, right?
Yeah.
More than anything.
Hmm. So did you always plan on, like even as you were doing computer science, did you always have the idea of, oh, I want to do medicine at some point once I'm settled down? Or was it kind of like a thing that you just remembered and you decided to pursue later?
It was just, yeah, I did not have that in mind because here we had a lot of constraints, right? We need to be on a work visa, we need to be working, we need to be getting a paycheck. But when I got married, those constraints were gone. And then
Mm.
immediately I saw this opportunity when I was like all fantasized about these things that
Yeah.
I was watching. Yeah.
Hmm. Well,
I
okay.
didn't know, like I didn't know if my constraints will go eventually. So when I got the opportunity, I thought I should take it.
Yeah, yeah. So how did you switch career paths like that? Like as you were in a job, how did you have to like go to undergrad again, or did you apply directly to med school?
Yeah, we had to take MCAT, right? Everyone has to take MCAT, so I had to basically do some prerequisite courses.
Hmm.
At the time, my cousins, and then my aunt suggested saying, "Oh, you should go to St. George's, Grenada, where
Hmm.
they do pre-med courses, and then you can just continue in medicine."
Okay.
Right? But Then I thought I was not comfortable with that idea. So just now I decided to do this, and then I can't just leave my family and go.
Yeah.
I did not, I did not feel comfortable. I thought I would fail altogether if I do that. So I did some courses in pre-med, like prerequisite courses in a community college. It's just enough to take that MCAT, and then after
Oh,
that,
yeah. And then after you applied to med school and did residency and all that?
yeah.
Okay. So what surprised you most about medical school compared to what you had expected, and what do you wish you had known during that process?
it, it was challenging, right? I faced some challenges. It wasn't all unexpected. It's basically the whole nature of this field. It's a very, very fast pace. The medical school, it's like hitting a running bus.
Yeah.
So you need to be prepared for it, and then you need to follow the strategy. Already these schools they built a system, they built a strategy. If you don't follow that, obviously you'll fail. So it's not necessarily that, oh, some students may think I'm hardworking, I'm smart, I should do this, I should be able to come back successful. But it doesn't happen, because first of all, they built a strategy. Okay, let's do a 4 hour of lecture, let's do a 4 hour of labs. Some students might think, oh, let me just sit at home, I do better that way. But it doesn't happen. 4 hour lecture, you will just take 8 hours and be distracted. So yeah, basically what I'm saying is, if you don't follow their strategy that was built, you'll fail, and that turns out to be a challenge, right? After that, you can't catch up. uh, you'll be dismissed from the school, and all those things happen.
Okay. So what was the most challenging part of medical school for you? I know you were talking about like the pace, but other than that, like academically, emotionally, or otherwise, what was the hardest part?
For me, now I think, looking back, I think it's not academically challenging. Medicine, for students like you, I should say medicine is the easy thing. Okay, so that's to basically encourage everyone going into medicine. It's If you follow the right strategy, it's very easy. It's just memorization. Medicine, right? Somebody told me, my advisor told me, M for memorization, multitasking. You do these two, and then you will be successful. Academically, it's not challenging, especially compared to like 10 years before or 15 years before. Now we have a lot of tools, lot of resources that will make you successful. Like there is some cartoon program called Sketchy, like Sketchy Farm, Sketchy Pathology. You just watch those videos and you will remember. It will improve your memory. You'll like, yeah, just for there are a lot of tools, a lot of resources that help you be successful. So they will tell you in school, and you should just follow it. And then basically time management. Academically, it's not challenging, but emotionally, once you pick medicine, again, it's not just hard work or smartness, right? You should be willing to make sacrifices. For me especially personally, my family was here, I was in Grenada doing FaceTime. You should be, I mean, you should be strong to do that. If you're not, then you just select a college where you're close to family.
Yeah, yeah,
I,
yeah. How did you figure out which specialty was right for you? Like, did you know as you were going into med school, or was it something that you figured out along the way?
which specialty as in residency?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, after medical school, right, we'll do rotations. That's where you need to make a decision. So between like, I know what I don't want to do. That's how I filtered out, right? I didn't want to do pediatrics. I Mostly because I think I was like too emotional, and being a mom myself, I thought I'll be too emotional, and I can't do justice to the job. I can't treat the patients well if I'm that. I have this kind of weaknesses, right? And then psych is something that's not, I don't fit in that. I can't understand the patients. If that's the case, then you can't do justice either. Like, just other than throwing medications, you can't really help holistically, right? So peds and psych was not my thing. So then I was like trying to think what I can do in pathology. Like when I was in med school, like I got A grade, A plus or something. So I'm like, okay, this is what I want to do. I'm very good at like academically in this, so I don't have to see patients, I don't have to talk to anybody. It's just do my thing and go home sort of thing, right? So that's the best thing I thought. But when I did the rotations, you'll get exposure to every specialty. So when I got exposure to internal medicine, I thought I really liked it, because First of all, it's acuity of the situation, right? You will be dealing with hospital admitted patients, and then there will be a lot of critical thinking. You can do a lot of procedures, even invasive procedures.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll feel sometimes you'll feel like a surgeon yourself, and then it's everything. And then this ICU training, like in the residency where I did my residency, they give a lot of hands-on ICU experience. So the adrenaline rush when you're doing CPR, I liked all of it. And then the patient interaction itself was more fulfilling and meaningful, unlike pathology. So that's when I decided I should just continue in IM.
Mm-hmm. And what does pathology involve? Like, what do you actually do in it?
Pathology is basically biopsy and then figuring out, it's a microscopic. You just read the biopsy, right?
Oh, okay.
And then come with a diagnosis. It's
So it's
basically
less like
the
patient-centered?
samples. Yeah,
Yeah.
you don't have to talk. Basically, you'll receive the sample, then you study the sample and say this patient has this,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like cancer diagnosis and this and that, lot of things.
Can you explain the residency application and match process for those that aren't familiar with it?
Residency, to apply for residency, it's actually the game is over, right? But like when we are doing the rotations, that's when it's most important, like what we are doing. Like you have to pick a specialty. You need to know for sure that's what you want. Otherwise, you'll be wasting time, right? You need to like plan that. Once you pick a specialty, the advice that I got, which I didn't really do
Mm-hmm.
because of my constraints again, right? The advice that I got was you need to like this third year and fourth year rotations are very crucial. You need to spread yourself between multiple programs around the country. So some in New Jersey, some in like East Coast, West Coast, here and there, right?
Yeah.
So that's when you are like building your network, and then you are like knowing more people, having more contacts. So you'll be more comfortable. You'll be more secure that way.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I had constraints. I had my kids and all that, so I can't do that.
Yeah.
I just settled in one spot and I did all my third, fourth year there. I applied there. Uh, yeah, for me that happened. And then the match thing again. The advice that I can give you. So the whole interview process starts from September, right? From September to January.
Mm-hmm.
So finish all your core rotations, like whatever rotations are left. So don't take the 3 month ones, take the 1 month ones.
Mm-hmm.
So that way you are at five different places.
Mm-hmm.
These 5 months are important. So when you are in particular rotation, face to face, ask them to give you an interview. Like go there. Like let's say I want to go into internal medicine, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm in a hospital. Which pick the hospital which has internal medicine program as a residency.
Mm-hmm.
So go there. Even if you are doing some other rotation, you can still ask the internal medicine department to give you an interview. So face to face always works. Emails, requesting for an interview in emails, these things don't work that much, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, when you are in the rotation, ask the department to give you an interview. So you're already basically you are in 5 different hospitals in their system already. So that way you have more chances of getting residency.
Mm-hmm.
When you apply, do like 3 buckets, right? One is like safety net bucket. Like some programs are like not that well ranked, but it's easy to get a residency. So you will at least have something, right?
Yeah.
Bucket. And then one is like, okay, you want this. So I did my rotations here. I love this place. I love the staff. I love the attending. So I want to go here. So that is another bucket. And the third is like stretch goal, like top ranked, where you may get it or may not get it, sort of thing. So apply like that, and then get all the interviews.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's game over. Match day is basically it's all done by then, right?
Yeah. Nice. So now that you're kind of almost done with the whole process, what do you wish you had known as a pre-med student before doing all of this?
Well, for me, I'm not a traditional medical student, right?
Yeah.
So I did my master's in computers. I was working there. When I did my pre-med prerequisites, basically I know what I want to do, right?
Yeah.
So, but then let's say there is some other student who doesn't know, like they are just taking pre-med courses and doesn't really did not decide on anything.
Mm-hmm.
Then the way I would advise, if I were to advise you or some other student, So medicine itself, right? The profession, it's a long process. It's a very long process. Uh, you and then once you get the degree, that can be taken away. Versus software, it's always changing. It's always changing, and then you need to be up to date with it, and then you can be easily replaceable. So I would still, if I were to do this all over again, I would still do medicine. Okay, so it's stable, right?
Yeah.
And then after that, once you decide to do medicine, in term one, you're basically getting exposure to what it is like, the academics, and then the how much you need to work, how hard you need to work, and then how much time you need to spend, and you're getting an exposure to it. So at that time, you're basically getting your feet wet, right?
Yeah.
So end of term one, if you are passing, if your strategy worked, so whatever you did, if your strategy worked, then move on. Just continue. Don't reinvent the wheel. Just keep doing what worked for you in
Yeah.
terms of lectures, in terms of taking notes, in terms of resources, all these things. But if it didn't work, if you failed, I would say like go back, like look into some other career paths, because it's like you will go into financial hole after that, right? It's either sink or swim after term two. If you continue, you have to swim, and you
Yeah.
have to come out. You can't sink into this financial hole after that. So that's the advice I would give if somebody wants to choose it. But don't be scared. Medicine is not that hard again.
Yeah. So it's all about like the mindset when going into med school.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. What is one thing that you think medical education in the US does very well, and one thing that you think needs to change with the system, kind of?
I don't know what can be changed at this point, because it's the nature of the field itself, right? It's all hands on. You can't do anything online to cut the cost or anything like that. It's the nature of this thing, right? You need to filter out. It's like the mistakes that we make, right, has real consequences. We are dealing with patients. We are dealing with, so they are filtering the right way. Like a zillion tests. There are like 8 hour long tests. You have to go through this rigorous process, and if you're stand after that, then obviously you are giving it. They are giving you a license to treat a patient, right?
Yeah.
So I don't think anything should change though.
Okay. What qualities or characteristics do you think are most important for success within the medical field?
Again, as I said, like for me, I don't think I mean, it is important. It is important to work hard and then be smart, but then that's not the only thing, is what I feel. For me, there were times as a student, growing up, there were times when I was awarded like academic excellence award. Okay, so there were times when I failed a test. So I was both, but it shouldn't, in the end, like that's not the only thing. You should have your mindset really wanting to do it is the main important thing. And then be willing to make some sacrifices, but just there is light end of the tunnel, right? You need to think of that way.
Yeah.
And then move on. There will be some failures for sure, but there should be a plan B, and then all the plans, plan A, B, C, should lead to the same thing.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then you'll be okay.
It's a good mindset to have. And for our last question, if you could go back and give your younger self one piece of advice before starting this whole journey, like not just medicine, but going into software too, what would it be?
Mm, for me, yeah. I mean, that's the advice I should have got, right? Basically, I failed in it. For me, I feel like life is too short to like do something else and then redo the whole thing.
Yeah.
For me, I had to do that, unfortunately. And then now, so they say, right, the first thing is to plan, then design, and then build. But for me, I did everything reverse. I
Yeah.
went into something else, then I realized, oh, this is not my thing, and then I did all over again. So that's the advice that I would give, and others, that you need to really like spend some time. Is this what you want? The regret shouldn't be there.
Yeah.
Just make sure to get advice from others, and then make sure you follow what you want.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Thank you.
Mhm.
That's all I had planned today. Thank you so much for being on the podcast and for all of your insight. I'm sure that people will learn a lot by listening to this. And yeah.
Thank you.